Hey y'all, hope you're having a good end to your work week. It's a lot later than I would normally stream, but I I found this I was moving over files from an old computer, and one of the only uh images that were on there was just this like at one point I was like very into logical fallacies, so I had this diagram from looks like 2012 from this blog that uh let's see if this guy's still active. Anyways, he was really into logical fallacies, and I was too, I guess, at this point. So what is it? Franklin. Whoa. Okay, that was. I mean, that's a little bit morbid, but it looks like he's still somewhat active. So so that's cool. I haven't read this blog huge in a huge amount of time. Uh, but I mean, I don't know. This sort of strikes me as like maybe there's some interesting stuff here still. Um, like it looks like he's really active. He writes a lot. Okay. Anyways, okay, that's sort of a tangent. But so I saw this image, and I decided just on a whim that I wanted to have sort of like a chill afternoon after work after doing some like deeper coding work earlier in the day that I just wanted to like I guess quiz myself on a few things, and one of them being these logical fallacies. So I mean I found a huge amount of quizzes. This is a tool that I this is a website I used to use also called clearthinking .org, and I'm not sure how good they are now. Again, like everything I'm talking about um, is from, I guess, me 10 years ago would endorse it, but I haven't kept up with um, how they are. But um, I know them primarily from this value of time calculator, where like this is a quiz I've taken a few times, where you just input a few things about what you'd pay to have done, or how much you would need to be paid to do things. And to me, it's very interesting to see how I think about money over time. I've taken this once, I think 5 years ago, and once almost 10 years ago at this point, and since then I've done a lot of stuff. I've gotten my first like real programming industry job. I've quit that job. I've made a run at a startup, realized I don't have that much experience, um, and I'd sort of done some freelance stuff. So I bet my perception of money has changed a huge amount over time. But then another quiz. The reason this image sort of spurred the stream today is because I realized they also have a faulty reasoning quiz with which actually tests you on these logical fallacies. So I'm going to I'm just gonna, I don't know what my goal is, whether it's to like score high in these quizzes. No, I don't think it's that. I think it's just like I want to just relax and have like a low stakes good time just trying to analyze myself about on these quizzes. And if I get if that's even too high stakes, if I get bored or stressed out analyzing myself, I don't know. Then there's also a website called Sporkle, which is just like more or less hobby quizzes, like competitive quizzes, and they have a lot of geography stuff here. So um, like these are the most popular quizzes on here are geography quizzes. So um, but I really just am going to I'm going to start with the faulty reasoning quiz. This is a quiz I've never taken before, so let's see. I'll put this in. I'll put this in chat. So I actually have no idea what my results will be. I'll also put the blog in chat at this point. And then I'll also put Sporkle in chat. So if you're replaying this, like all this stuff will be in chat for sure. Yeah, cool. So I guess I just want to start with this quiz. Like, not reading too much into these logical fallacies. I recognize a few of them, like ad hominem, attacking a person instead of an argument, ad nauseum. Just okay. I mean, like most of these are self-explanatory. It seems. Um, this is the first time looking at this in like 10 years. So uh, let's see how. I used to be way more into this. Let's see how this actually goes. I have more friends than you. Ooh. Okay, so this might be way easier than I thought, but also, like, I'm not sure how much this website tries to trick you, but looks like you don't know some information, so you're ignorant to information. Okay. Terrible and badly are synonyms. He's not actually making an argument here, so. Begging the question, I think. And begging the question, in my understanding, is like, he's like, how do you know something's happening? Because something's happening. Where some X, how do you know X is happening? Because X is happening, and X is the same in both cases, and it looks like that's the case here. Terrible and badly. Oh, it tells you if you're correct or not up here. Okay, so I thought we were gonna have to wait till the end of the quiz to see the results. Okay. So If everyone says it's true, then that means it must be true according to popular opinion. What? Oh, okay, because the jury actually has the like legal duty to decide who's guilty. I don't know. That's an iffy one because juries can be wrong. Like, and I wouldn't expect this to say Greg is clearly guilty. The jury has heard X evidence that Greg is guilty. Like if they're relying on evidence, and instead of the jury just believing so, then I would consider that like an appropriate thing. I sort of disagree with this quiz, but again, who am I to disagree? Maybe that's a fallacy in itself. Okay, I don't know if that's a fallacy. It's just uh like he could be genuinely ignorant of the reason I chose this is because I thought he would be genuinely ignorant for two definitions of fine. Like I've had friends that have said it's fine for something to happen. So it's more common vernacular than this quiz would lead you to believe. Hmm. Okay, so Ronald Reagan's saying like, oh no, this one consequence will beget like the rest of our lives, regrets for the rest of our lives. This is a hilarious quote. If you don't write this program, I promise you, will pass surely as the sun will come up tomorrow, and behind it will come up other federal programs that will invade every area of freedom we have known in this country until one day, as Norman Thomas said, we will awake to find that we have socialism. And if you don't do this, and if I don't do it, one of these days you and I are going to spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once what it once was like in America when men were free. Okay, I mean, I guess it all we should. What I'm learning is this quiz doesn't respect you because it should tell you what the program is that's about to pass. Is it directly related to expanding the powers of government that, in some obvious way, could, in some very obvious way, could lead to more of a socialist country? Not, I mean, socialism, capitalism, communism, sort of is a spectrum. We're socialist in a lot of ways. With our like social security, Medicare, Medicaid, these are all socialist programs. It doesn't mean, and they are socialism. It doesn't mean that we're not capitalist as well. Like, so, not to get too political, but find that we have socialism is like a. I think they're going for slippery slope, but it's not like that would be a huge step out of nowhere. Like we have certain socialist aspects, we have certain capitalist aspects already. So it's a fallacy. Like slippery slope fallacy is a real fallacy, but I wish they told us what the program is because it might be. I mean, it might be applicable here, even though it is a fallacy. Um, I mean, if it's a fact that nobody knows what the winning lottery numbers will be, hopefully no one knows. Like the future, like that. I'm considering like this is like a this is supposed to be a true fact. So this is like okay, in computer science this would not be a fallacy. This would be like given a system, given a lottery system where you could be more you could be better at wording the argument, but I think this is a valid argument. Given a system where there's a lottery that where numbers are chosen in a predeterminable way for a human being, and given that whoever she is in this sentence isn't a human. Oh, okay, jeez, I didn't realize I was like not even recording the quiz. Well, okay, let's go back through the questions if we can. No, actually, you know what? Oh well. Um, I'm sorry if you missed that. Like, so begging the question is when a the argument for something happening, for X happening, or X being true, is that X is true. But I think nobody knowing what the lottery numbers will be as a function of the system of the lottery is different than a single person claiming they know the numbers and you can argue that they don't know the numbers because of how the system is set up. Damn, that's a shame. I had the overlay up because this was there was some good. There's some good parts of the quiz. Let's reset. Like just run through it really, really quickly. Go straight to the quiz. I have more friends than you. You don't know how many you have, so you can't just agree. Like that's clearly ignorance. Like if you don't know how many you have, and I have more friends than you. So this first question I have no problem with. Um, the second question I have no problem with because terrible and badly are synonyms. We're just recapping what we went over, like the part of the quiz we played so far, which is this is begging the question. This is a good example of begging the question because playing it terrible and playing it badly are basically the same thing. So playing it badly is not an argument for playing it terrible. Greg is guilty. Every member of the jury says so. So someone saying you're guilty is not evidence that you're guilty. And because like that's sort of like hearsay. They're not like a. It's even less valid than hearsay because presumably members of the jury are not witnesses. Juries are supposed to be designed where they're pre-selected for people who have as little bias as possible. So in theory, people on the jury saying that Greg is guilty should be based in fact, but we don't know that just from this argument. So that's why I consider like what is presumably a third person saying this, like a third party person saying this, appeal to popular opinion. So I'm going to click that even though I know this answer is wrong. Like, according to this quiz just expects that the jury has evidence and that you're supposed to assume that the jury has evidence. If the jury brought up evidence and this third person was like, the jury has evidence that Greg is guilty, then I think that would be no fallacy being committed. All right. They say the fine for parking here, and since it's fine, I'll park here. So yeah, so this one, I think it's supposed to be equivocation because this person is supposed to know that fine and fees and something being okay are two different things. But like as I said before, I think I've had friends that say it's fine for something to happen. Like that is this is more commonly said than meaning the second meaning. Instead of fee, instead of fine being a fee, fine being okay. That's more commonly said than people think. So, but now that the right answer here, according to the quiz, is equivocation, based on their interpretation of how common fine for X is and what the meanings for fine for X is supposed to mean. All right, and so this was the whole speech for the slippery slope from capitalism into socialism, which which of course we exist on the spectrum. I had that whole rant about it before. All right, so but here, I mean, like without knowing the program, this is just a slippery slope. Okay, and then this one, according to system design principles, is there's nothing wrong with saying this, but I guess the quiz just like this quiz was not made by a computer scientist because the person who made this quiz thinks nobody knowing the winning lottery numbers as a function of the lottery and a single person not knowing the winning lottery numbers means the same thing. So in that case, that would be begging the question. You shouldn't play violent video games. Violent video games will lead to violent thoughts and behaviors and then to actions. Eventually, you wind up in jail. That is a slippery slope. You shouldn't play violent video games. Just remove the second sentence. Eventually, you wind up in jail. That's just something very crazy to say. Oh my gosh. It should be obvious to everyone that miracles happen all the time. For example, modern technology provides us with miraculous things like flight and near instant communication. Therefore, atheists cannot prove that there are no miracles. Yeah, miracles happening all the time and technology being developed are not the same thing. In that case, I'm pretty pretty comfortable going equivocation here. And it also depends on your definition of all the time. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. American people find it preposterous that anyone would think that social media platforms are unbiased. Surely the sender isn't ignorant of the numerous controversies regarding their content moderation practices. What? There's no fact brought up here. This is not. This is like bait tactics, right? This is like bait for engaging in something. This is not like you would. You'd hope someone saying this would bring up examples. I mean, do it. It doesn't matter if I think social media platforms are unbiased. I do, but it's not a. I guess this is just a very easy quiz because I figured they'd try and make it hard by actually putting some arguments here. But I mean, you're specifically looking out for fallacies, so they should make this very hard, basically. But no, this is just like, oh, a bunch of people think social media platforms are biased. Let's make sure the senator knows that and scare him into agreeing. Alien life probably exists. Maybe. We shouldn't dismiss it just because we don't have proof. Sure. The universe is too large and it would be far too unlikely for us to be the only sentient life in the universe. So we shouldn't dismiss it just because we don't have proof. This is a much more reasonable argument. I'm prone to say like he's not arguing for something, he's arguing against it. Like and using this could be appeal to ignorance because you don't know if alien life exists, but he's making a he's making a Fermi approximation like argument, I think. So yeah, okay. I mean, this is confirmation bias. I think that saying something that is unlikely, you should have more like oomph to your claim about saying something's unlikely, I guess. But there's nothing wrong with this. You should just have more stuff, I think. Okay, so I guess there's one more question. Okay, this is just the like discussion. This is just like a hype session. I'm not gonna. This is just a hype session. No one's arguing for anything. Like I don't think it's wrong that someone could be excited for trying to getting the high score. So I think. I think this should be 100. I'm surprised that the average score is below 30 though. Because some of these are very, very obvious. All right, that's I want to do. I want to do a tougher quiz in my opinion, and then I want to do a. Actually, let's do the overconfidence test because right now I'm feeling a little bit overconfident based on this like the score I got is high score. So I just want to make sure it's warranted. Maybe it's not. Um, Overconfident I am at taking clear. Let's see. I'd say it's a little bit of personal opinion because I disagree with some of the answers. All right, let's breeze through this actually. Okay. Yeah, that didn't seem. Oh wait, the quiz is not done. Okay. Okay. I think these are. I mean, I think for the most part, these five skills that I think people are the most overconfident in are the hardest ones, except for I think these three, like painting a portrait especially, I think to be very hard, and I think most people think that would be very hard. Um, Behaving ethically and dodging fraud, I think most people think they're more ethical than they are, and maybe me included. I don't think that's a skill that most people have, or I don't think that's even just like a quality that most people have an objective view of themselves and others on. And so that also just could mean that I don't. I could be wrong about these two, um, because I don't know how other people view themselves about being ethically. But I do know that a lot of people fall victim to the Dunning Kruger effect for coding. Um, I mean, that skill is just rife with people saying they have imposter syndrome and maybe having imposter syndrome, and then like getting a quick win, and then being like, "Yes, I'm the best person in the world," and then just like roller coasters of emotions. And then yeah, based on how this quiz is lined up, though, I'm gonna uncheck saving humanity from destruction because I don't think anyone feels confident in doing that. I guess I'll put dancing. Using computers and coding is very, very different. Oh my gosh. Behaving ethically, being friendly, being kind, intelligent. Okay. So people are underconfident in knitting a sweater, painting a portrait. That makes sense. Coding, that, and dancing and saving humanity from destruction. That all makes sense. But coding, that's a little bit of a shock for me. Um, yeah, and this one's a shock too because this one doesn't seem that hard to me, at least. All right, am I underconfident in speaking in front of a large group? It's not easy, and it's something that I don't do in real life. Um, I think anything with little experience, like depending on experience, you can change that. You can change this. You can change most of these actually. I mean, all of these skills are just things that you can develop, but you might not get an opportunity to save humanity from destruction. Hopefully not, I guess. Hopefully none of us do. But most people won't perform at high levels of racing or poker. Like some of these you don't naturally come across, but the ones you do, the ones that are skills are. Um, I'm surprised they're on the spectrum actually because yeah, because chess and soccer and dancing and all of these stuff, even outside of the experience section, are skills. Um, no, let's skip ahead. I think I'm pretty much done with how with this quiz. I'm not sure how much it achieved for us. I think I want to go to the I think I want to go to the value of time. That this is the main one I remember from clearer thinking. This value of time quiz I've done not once but not once but twice in the past, and every like the first two times I've done it, the difference between the two was fast. I think it was when I um the first time I did it was when I first got into high school and had my own bank account and just had like tiny bit of control over my money. And I actually did have summer jobs, like as an as a camp instructor and then as a cashier. But I don't think I was a cashier before taking this quiz. I think that came after. So the first time I took this quiz, I never really spent any of my money or needed to spend any of my money. And then the second time, I actually had a job and I was spending a lot of money on myself. This was towards like I had complete control over my finances. I was living in an off-campus apartment and I was in college, and so now I've gotten and lost a job. I've done some freelance. I've tried to do a startup, and so there's so much that has changed between each of these times taking the quiz, and this is the first time I'm taking it like completely independently of school. After having had experience in my industry, which is software engineering, and so I think, but now currently being unemployed, I think this is going to vary wildly. So without further ado, I want to this this tool is definitely going to point out some inconsistencies with how I think about money, and I'm actually pretty much. I'm really looking forward to that. I don't think it's perfect. I'm not going to answer this question. Let's just say 13. Um, okay. This tool is designed to give you an estimated value for an additional hour of a neutral task. Okay, so it's not like my life's mission where I'm being compensated for, but it's not like it would be like if I had to give up an hour of sleep, I guess. By the way, I'll put this in the chat. Can I do that from here? Docs. Chat. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Okay, so yeah, so basically none of this is financial advice, and it's not like I'm gonna. I mean, the goal of this quiz is to help you think about taking on more work or less work, or choosing to do tasks based on if they're worth it to you. Um, but but yeah, don't like just I guess make small changes in your life. Don't make huge changes in your life, and like even without trying to make huge changes, the you'll end up making huge changes no matter what you do. So don't just like wreak havoc day one after doing this quiz. Hey, okie dokie, how have you been? I'm getting a late start this afternoon. Um, it's a way more chill version of the quiz. I mean, it's a way more chill stream just because I decided I just want to do some quizzes. So I'm feeling pretty all right. I'm I'm just having a little bit of fun learning uh, like about like personality stuff, and I guess also then going on. This is the last quiz I'm doing on like about like logic and personality and stuff before going on to like just classic geography quizzes. So um if you don't see the I'll post this one more time again in chat. It's the like the value of your time quiz. It's supposed to be like a quick quiz to determine how valuable your time is. So if that interests you, you could try this out using your own answers. For me, I'm just gonna go and I'm not going to use these results as gospel or anything, but uh, I'm just curious to see how it works out. So let's go through a couple of these. I think I just refresh what the quiz is talking about. Okay, so I guess you have to decide between like you're presented an opportunity to do something for an hour and you get paid for that amount, and then you're also presented an opportunity to free up, like get an extra hour of free time. How much would you pay for that amount? And I think the aim of this quiz, it looks like from this description, is trying to make you think about, oh, shouldn't those two numbers be sort of the same? And to me, the answer is no. I'm like, there's a second question. I'm busy with a lot of stuff that isn't work. How does this tool handle my schedule? To me, there's like value in free time that has nothing to do with considering like your absolute necessities, and also has nothing to do with making money, like hobbies. But I'd still consider hobbies free time. So, would I rather do a hobby or work? I'd probably rather do a hobby, even if it means missing out on like 1.5 times pay or 2 times pay overtime work in some cases. And would I rather do something mundane also? Um, yeah, I mean, I'm fine filling up my time with mundane things, because also that means I don't want to fill up my time with mundane things, because like if I have goals that aren't mundane that I'd like to achieve, but um, but if there are pockets of mundane time, there's like more than enough podcasts and music and stuff I can listen to that sort of relaxes me. So you need some time to rest as a person, even during the day, even outside of like the portion of time you get for sleep. Like it's also useful to rest, in my opinion. And I'm really curious to hear what what you all think, if you have a different opinion about value of like idle time or mundane time, and also the value of hobbies. So I expect there's some inconsistency in my quiz, but we'll see. Let's start estimating. Say someone offers you a part-time job that you only do for 1 hour per week on top of your current work. Suppose that this part-time job involves neutral work that you neither like nor dislike, and it would be it doesn't conflict with your current schedule. It also means you're not going to learn anything. So it's just, I guess if I had like a black box, if you have a black box machine and it zaps an hour of your life away, how much would I pay for that? I really like the framing of this question in a way where, in sort of a system design way, where it's like you press a button and it shortens your lifespan by 1 hour. I think that's really, to me, that makes it sufficiently creepy to make pressing that button need to be extremely valuable for me. For me, at this point in my life, it's probably lower than what it should be. But I'd say, like, think about how valuable life is. It's probably in the area of like $250 for me. Jeez, like and I'm struggling to think of whether that's too high or too low. Like, is there a metric for how much you should be valuing life per hour or per lifetime? Like, let's see. Let's see actually. How much is a life worth? I've seen this statistic before that it's worth like $10 million. So how many years do humans live? There should be a mathematical answer to this question. So $10 million divided by how many hours? 692,000 hours. I mean, let's get rid of the union. And let's change this to oh. Oh my gosh, that's so stupid that this doesn't just come up with a mathematical result. So, if you worked every single hour of your life in like a slave-like existence, like the minimum you should be putting here is $14. Where? Here, yeah, $14. But obviously, you're like sleeping sometimes, and you're and doing hobbies like 2/3 of the time. So I'm gonna multiply this by 3. I think the minimum, like in my opinion, I wouldn't look down on someone putting less than $45 in this box, but I think that should be ethically. I think that should be the minimum number that you put here, or that you should strive for something like this. I know not everyone's in that position, but hopefully you could um, like make a goal that includes from wherever you're at. Either is there a path to management? Like, can you take your experience and market that in some way that gets you to this number? And for me, I just want to be really optimistic about this for myself. And so I think 250 is like a very fair thing to consider what an hour of someone's life is. An hour of someone's waking, liquid, flexible life is worth. All right, next question. Say you have a neutral 4-hour personal task to take care of this weekend. You also have the opportunity to pay for use of a machine, which will allow you to complete the task in just 2 minutes instead of 4 hours. What's the maximum amount of money you'd be willing to pay to use this machine? Keep in mind that if you are on a budget, the amount you're willing to pay may be small, but that's okay. Give an honest answer, even if you'd only be willing to pay a few cents. Right, since using a decimal point, so 0.25 would mean a quarter. Okay. For this, I think there's negative externality with buying a machine. So what I mean by that is, like, say you buy the machine. Okay, you freed up almost 4 hours of your life. But then now you have this machine sitting here. How do you get rid of it? Can you... Maybe there's positive externality if it's something very easy to resell. But it seems like this is just... If this is just like a one-time task, to me, it's sort of worth the drive. It's worth like the endurance and willpower to power through a 4-hour task. It's character building a little bit. Like, so 4 hours of a neutral task would not be neutral for me, you know? Um, my interpretation is that, like, it wouldn't be neutral because I'd be like laboring, I'd be getting stronger, I'd be working hard, which just mentally is good as well. So physically, mentally, I'm improving. I could also be like listening to music or podcasts, so even more mental improvement. Like there's something to be said for doing, and also it's a personal task. Um, so it's really something that you should have your eyes on. Like, I mean, not all personal tasks are like this. Like, let's say taxes. Like, just having that comfort, that peace of mind, um, for taxes for specifically, that you took a look at it, that you understand how your life is going, what you're doing. Like, you understand a lot about you personally. That's worth it for the rest of your life. Like not having itches of like not of like, hey, I can understand myself without any like external machine. I think we're a little bit overly reliant on machines, but maybe I'm stretching that rant a little bit. Anyways, I think doing stuff yourself, especially if it's one-time personal things, there's a lot of value in that in itself. So, what would I pay to eliminate that? It could be like almost nothing. Um, I guess maybe like $50. I mean, that's not almost nothing, but it would be like, okay, what would I be doing? I'm gonna go even this. I'm gonna go like $20 because otherwise maybe I'd be spending $20 to go like have a day out with friends or something like that, and also be a lot more happy and also procrastinate on the task. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go with $20 for this one. Um, say you come across an opportunity to get a $100 gift certificate to a store that you shop at very regularly. All right, let's see if there's like an analogous doctor of credit quote to this. Get $100 for all right, yeah, like Target. Let's say Target's just giving out a $100 Apple gift card, and no, actually, let's say let's do something where it's actually like real cash money, um, and you don't have to spend money to get it. Let's see. Okay, maybe this one. U.S. Bank $100 is offering $100 with a new investor account. Fund the account and maintain the balance. Um, so how much time would I spend doing this deal? I mean, I've tracked this before using a tool called Toggle. It's just a timer, and I've done bank accounts like this before, on brokerage accounts, and usually they only take like a few minutes. Like they take 4 minutes, for example, to do $100 bonus, and So that's the minimum because I think 4 minutes for $100 is like a good deal. Obviously, I've done it before. Um, for me, it's a good deal. Um, so let's say U.S. Bank was offering $100 for like an hour of work. I think that's still this sort of goes against what I was saying before, but I would do that. I would I think that's the maximum I would do if it took an hour for to like set up an account to get this offer, then that's sort of the same thing as waiting in line for an hour for $100 gift certificate. um, so my answer would be like, well, also because either way you could be listening to like a podcast, like it's not complete time wasted. Um, but I'd say like I'd say 100 minutes is my maximum for, and this is stress free waiting. This is like, and it could be social as well. I'm adding a lot of stuff to this quiz. I shouldn't add it. I should just be like, okay, would I spend 100 minutes to get a US Bank brokerage bonus? I think that's my limit. So that should be my limit for the gift certificate as well. Moving on. All right. Imagine that you're in a new city. You got plans on the other side of town, but you need to take either the local train or the express train. How much extra would you pay to take the express train that saves you an hour? Um. Okay, to be honest, I haven't. Um. I've spent money on public transportation before, but I've never spent, except in very, very rare cases, like when doing like interstate or like long distance travel. I haven't spent double digits on any sort of ticket. So, especially not for something within a city. That's like a like have you ever seen a train ticket that's like more than $10 that doesn't even get you out of the city? For me, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine at all like a train ticket that costs more than like $15. This is going to be insane. I'm going to put $15. Like in the context of public transport, like $15 um is a lot to pay to get one, like between two different methods of public transport. Part of the experience of joining and of seeing a new city is, even if you don't see that much from the train, it's getting a sense of what it feels like to do local public transport. So these are like sort of bad questions to assess your value of an hour. Except for the first one, I think that one is a very, very fair question. I think local versus express train, I would be I would like to meet the person that puts more than $90 in here and doesn't have like a helicopter or something that they use to transport themselves around everywhere. Um, I think that would be an interesting person to meet because, like, what goes on in their head? Why are they taking express trains? Does an express train within a city that costs more than $90 even exist? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's see if other people have answered. Let's see if this tells you what other people have answered. I think this is the last question. Yeah, okay, this is all the questions. Let's take a quick break. All right, so I remember this. This is a really cool, this is really funny. XKCD. If you don't know, like, XKCD is like a comic strip. They have a lot of computer science stuff. But okay, let's do this one. Why are you going here? Gas is 10 cents a gallon cheaper at the station, 5 minutes that way. Because a penny saved is a penny earned. If you spend 9 minutes of your time to save $1, you're working for less than minimum wage. That's sort of just like, that's a little bit crazy, but I get it. Yeah, okay, so if you wait 9 minutes for $1, you're making $6.67 per hour. Yeah, wow. Okay. Most people don't think this way. Like, panhandlers for sure. I'm pretty sure it takes them longer. At least where I'm around, it takes them longer than 9 minutes to get like for a person to stop and give them $1. And I doubt they're giving them much more than $1 or spare change. So and minimum wage is much more than $7.25 in most places nowadays. So they're definitely working for less than minimum wage, depending on what you think their goal is. Unless I'm misunderstanding how they actually make money. So, I mean, let's see how we did. Let's not submit the email. And yeah, just as a review, these are the questions. Here, let's go. Let's see. $37.50 per hour. All right. I mean, as we established before, that's less than the value of a human life per hour. But that also means like $37.50 per hour plus like free. I'm gonna assume this means $37.50 per hour plus like free housing plus free access to like phone and computer technology for podcasts and stuff like that. Because those are the assumptions I'm using to I used when I was doing the quiz. So it's still, no, can we edit this? Can we edit this to say wage for shortening your life an hour. That's just like a more grim way to put it, and I think that way it totally justifies the $250 price tag. And yeah, okay, so these are just like a summary of my answers. Let's see how consistent it is. Doesn't look very consistent at all. So this is average level consistency. Wow, cool. Um, okay, so this is just saying that most, like 75% of people have a consistency score better than around 1. 50% have a consistency better than around 3.5. And we're here at like 2.9 ish. So we're a little less than, we're pretty inconsistent, but I don't mind. I think we have good rationalizations for all of them. Okay, so what does this tool suggest? And bear in mind it says, be very careful acting on advice from this tool. But it says, it's possible that I'm very reluctant to pay people to free up my time, which is okay because I mean, obviously, I'm streaming here and I'm not making 37.50 per hour, but this is fun, and I consider this free time. And who knows? During this time, I could have laundry running. Um, I could have stuff in the oven. This is like, um, okay. I don't like the public transit suggestions, so we're just gonna ignore those. Like I said, I can like I could have chores happening while I'm here on the computer while I'm either coding or streaming or something. And maybe that's worth it if they're like active chores. I feel like people are, it would be a good thing for more people to engage with the circular economy by interacting with their neighbors and fostering a community of people that do stuff for each other rather than you being expected to do everything for your, I mean, it's good to know how to do everything for your own life, and that's something I expect people to learn and be capable and know how to do. But that doesn't mean that we should be forced to live like solitary, independent lives. Like a lot of a lot of a huge economic concept is comparative advantage. Just means like, why would you do the laundry for yourself? Like um in a perfectly functional economic system, why would you do laundry for yourself? Why would you do cooking for yourself? Why would you do everything for yourself when you could basically treat yourself like like states or nations treat themselves in the same way as an actor and do what you do best and maximize what you can get out of that, and then other people do what they do best, and there are people that are way better at you at cleaning and laundry and golfing and coding and finance and everything. There are people that are way better than you at anything. There are people that are way better than you at everything other than what you're the best at doing. And so why doesn't it make sense to spend as much time as you're doing getting value out of what you're best at doing, and then let other people spend as much time as they can getting value at what they're best at doing, and we're all, and hopefully what you're best at doing, and you could make what you're best at doing be, and you could make what you're best at doing be something that you like doing. It just takes an interest, and then it takes time to build up that skill. And presumably, if you are interested, like it takes even less time to build up that skill than it would take for other people to invest in that skill. And so perhaps that's what you should be doing, and that's what other people should be doing, and then we could have an economy like this where you you hire people to do you outsource everything you're not best at doing to other people, and then you outsource everything you're not doing you outsource everything you're not best at doing to other people, and then you can spend more time doing what you're best at doing, and other people can spend what their time doing what they're best at doing for you and other people, and you can spend your time doing what you're best at doing for you and other people. And according to the principle of comparative advantage, the world would be a much more efficient place, and we'd grow as a civilization. And when companies realize this, there's so many founders that have founded companies and realized, oh, I'm running the whole company. I'm not necessarily great at running a company. I'm great at one aspect of delivering the project. I'm great at one aspect of delivering the product of the company, and I'm not great at like accounting and legal stuff and outreach and sales and marketing and all that stuff. And so it's a long time overdue to hire someone to or multiple people to do what was previously done by a one-man ship. And then you get this opportunity to see huge growth. So I'm a huge fan of this. I'm also a huge fan of letting of like just pointing out to people that like their time isn't free. Like you probably there's so many freebies on this Doctor of Credit website. I don't even need to search it up. It's like rebates and freebies and people just running around doing like selling all their information, doing a huge amount of work just to get maybe like a free box of cereal or a free bag of dog food or something. And they're like, in the sense, they think they're winning because they get the free bag of dog food. But it's after an hour, 2 hours of work. In a sense, your life boils down to dog food. If your life boils down to dog food accumulator, that's a pretty sad life. So, um, yeah, free stuff isn't always worth it, even if it is completely free. Devices are cool. Like, you could be the person that makes a device that saves time for everybody. That's how we got to the industrial revolution, the agricultural revolution. That's how we have information age. That's how we expand our civilization, I think. So this is like I'm a huge supporter of it. Um I'm not a huge supporter of spending all your time working unless you need to be. Like work as much as you need and then as much as you want. I think. Make sure your bases are covered, and then anything more should be towards like a goal for growth or because you like doing what you're working on. And then this one's just silly, I think. Spending 32 minutes to decide whether to purchase something is um I mean, yeah, in essence just like make quick decisions, you know? Like so many decisions are reversible. You can't like think about the decisions you're making. Most of the most of the decisions you're making aren't like if I make the wrong decision in this like to purchase something or not, will I go to jail? Um no, it's like most decisions are reversible. So spend much less time deciding what you need to decide. And you'll get better at deciding things through frequency of decisions. I think this is something that like Alex Hormozy says as well. Like you get better at deciding things, you realize decisions are reversible, and you get more life experience. And in a sense, you're living more, you're less paralyzed. So this is something I need to work on for myself as well. I'm going to decide at this moment to move on. I'm ready to move on. And I think we are good. Let's see. Let's pull up the credits. Thank you to all these people for this quiz, and uh, thank you if you're watching this back for letting me rant about decisions and money for like an hour at this point. I'm happy with my results. So actually, I want to go back and see. Um, I'm going to use this 250 number. That's my benchmark. I think this is like the most accurate number. Somewhere between like 60. No, what was this? This was meant to be like $100, right? Um, so 100 somewhere between 100 and 250 is my benchmark. All right, that's been the "What is your time really worth to you" quiz. I'll link it once more time in the chat. And then we'll continue. I think this has been like a fun short day, so I'm just gonna go right to the fun quizzes. Excuse me. I'll be right back. Let me get to the right quiz first, then I'll be right back. Okay, countries of Africa. This is going to be our first one. Oh my gosh, my throat is sore. My throat's so sore. So maybe streaming at the end of the day on a work week isn't the best idea. But I do I do think these quizzes will be chill. I'm just I mean it's time, so it's not like I could talk that much anyways. Like this is definitely a hard mode quiz. So I I'm guessing I know like 10, maybe 20 countries in Africa. It's the region of the world. It's the continent I know the least about. So let's see. Let's see if just checking that my mic's online. Let's try and verify that claim. Let's see if the confidence, overconfidence, underconfidence quiz had any merit to it. I'm a little bit underconfident about this quiz right now. All right, so Egypt. We're live. Okay, cool. I just happened to know that from the movie. Okay, we got the northern coast, which is the easiest part. All right, Senegal. Papua. Yeah. There's no country like that. There's DRC. There's Congo. There's Kenya. Stop fooling around. There's Somalia, which is on that coast. It's another pirate movie. Let's see. Okay. There's Am I missing something? There should be a All right, let's get the ones we know. I know Rwanda from a movie as well. Unfortunately. Okay. That's probably just South Africa. Madagascar. So it turns out there's a lot of movies actually. Madagascar is another movie. I might be at my limit. We have another 7 minutes. There's got to be a little bit more. I know. Oh, okay, yeah, of course. Yeah. I didn't even, I didn't even know about this one. I wouldn't have gotten that. Okay, Sudan. I think I've just heard of that. Stop. Yeah, I've just heard of these. I'm just guessing at this point. Yeah, we've done that. I think. So Ivory Coast, is that a thing? Yeah. Okay. Wow. Cool. Nepal's not in Africa. Nope. By the Himalayas, right? Good thing I have a little bit more water. Okay. There's this little strip right here. I think it's there's a country called like Eritrea, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that's like one of the most frequent violators of human rights in the world. But yeah, I'm missing something very, very obvious right here. Mhm. Okay, wait a second. Do the Canary Islands count? No, I guess not. Um, I don't even know if they're on this map, but I thought they were like South Atlantic. I'm not gonna feel good if I don't get at least one of these like huge countries I'm missing. Um, hmm. I mean, I think I could get more on this quiz actually, but I'm just like stunned as looking like a stupid streamer right now. I'm probably not gonna let all 4 minutes pass unless something strikes me in terms of inspiration. The Congo. I mean, there should be more than one country with Congo in its name. There's some country that speaks Swahili. Maybe multiple. It's probably not a country. It's probably a region. Hmm. Okay, yeah, it's been a whole minute of not getting a single answer, so I think we gotta give up. Okay, Ethiopia. That's the one I definitely should have gotten. Okay, Djibouti as well, and then Republic of the Congo. That's just not fair at all because I knew that there was a second Congo. Um, and then did I know any more of these? I did know Zimbabwe and Mozambique, and if I really got if I really focused, I probably could have gotten Botswana and Namibia. Just the countries near South Africa, maybe even Lesotho. Um, just from looking at a map enough times, and maybe even Ghana as well. I think I could have gotten Ghana, but the opportunity to get that is Ghana. So let's move on. I like this. This is fun. I can't believe the average score is 74% though. Like, are Americans? You're telling me Americans know more than 30 African countries on average? That's crazy to me. I have trouble believing this result. Um, I don't think we'll do much better in Asia. I think once we get to Europe, I'll do a little bit better. In South America and North America, we'll see. There's only 49 this time. Let's go. Let's try it out. Okay, so let's get some good feelings going. Russia, There, we got like half of the map covered. We're done, right? Get a score of 50%. That's embarrassing, misspelling China. Already I'm seeing some countries that I don't know. Let's skip those for now. Let's go in a pattern of countries that we do know. So we know North Korea and South Korea. And then right next to that's Japan. Hi, Japan. Going all the way down here to this, I guess this little island. Let's see if Taiwan counts. Yep, cool. Awesome. Nice. So this quiz is very political, it looks like. Anyways, okay. Somehow I skipped a series of islands. Are those the Philippines? If I can learn. If I can spell Philippines. Am I not going to get Philippines because I don't know how to spell it? Guess that serves me right. Okay, anyway, that's I guess we gotta continue. You gotta get I don't know if I can get the I don't know if I remember what's next to Cambodia and Laos. I know only one. Like I only know like the one we all know. And then I guess we just have to keep moving. This sort of sucks. I mean, I'm gonna have to skip a few here, I think. Sorry. All right, enough trying to guess Philippines. We'll come back to that at the end. I'm gonna skip all the way to Pakistan, unfortunately. Nope, never mind. We're going the opposite direction. Bangladesh and Nepal. Tibet. Is Tibet on this map? No. What's that little section? In the center. I know this section down here is Sri Lanka. I'm sorry. Indian Ocean regions of I mean this one's unfair. I gotta I know the Philippines, of course, but that's unfortunate. Okay. Okay. I guess we'll just go toward like we're running out of time actually. We got to go towards the Middle East. Okay. You know what? Let's start at the opposite end of the map. Turkey. Syria. What am I missing in that region? It's like a B country, I think. That's silly that I'm missing a country. Okay. Is Pakistan on the map? I mean, I guess so. Wow. Jeez. Okay. Um, I guess that counts. Wow. I'm a little surprised about that. Anyway. Uh, that might be in Africa. Okay. UAE. Uh, Abu Dhabi. Okay, it's one of those cities. Qatar. Okay. Iraq, Iran. Before we move on, we got to make sure to get like Baku. It's where the Formula One races are. Like this tiny section, like a tiny island here. Bahrain, maybe. There we go. Cool. Nice. Okay, we're really running out of time. Okay. Azerbaijan. Nope. That's the capital. Okay, let's continue with our reign of terror in Afghanistan. There's another Stan country. Kazakhstan. Oh, of course, Ukraine. Really? No Ukraine? Oh no, maybe that's Europe. Okay. Serbia. No, there's one. What's that region? That region next to Russia and China, just like cold winters. I'm not giving up yet until I get it. It's like the whole entire region's called something. It's famous. It's like terrible conditions to live, especially in the winter. Slovenia. I'm just putting some stuff. Most of these are probably in Europe. Okay. Kazakhstan. I would have never been able to pronounce that. And two P's in Philippines? Um, okay, Myanmar, Bhutan, Vietnam. Of course, I definitely should have gotten those. And Lebanon is the country I was thinking of. That was the B country. So realistically, I could have gotten like 40, which would put me around the average score. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how I did here. I think I think we'll continue to do bad in Europe, but then we'll redeem ourselves a little bit. Okay, so this one's going to be fun. It's weird. They separate Ireland into two things, or UK. Okay. I guess that's just part of the UK, Northern Ireland. All right. Let's just continue. Portugal, Spain. What's this place called? It's not Monero. It's we'll come back to it. Okay. Italy. Vatican. Nope. All right, let's continue with the well-known countries. They don't give us much time. Russia's considered part of Europe as well, I guess. And then Ukraine, of course. Turkey is considered both part of Europe and Asia. Oh well, okay. Okay, Norway, Sweden, Finland. Those three are easy. Denmark. And I think those are the Netherlands. Same thing. Oh no, different thing. Cool. Glad I guessed that. Then there's Brussels. Belgium. I just got the capital mixed up, I guess. Then next to France is Germany. I don't know about that little country. All right, that's not Switzerland, is it? No. Okay, so Germany. There's this tiny country there that I have no idea what that could be. But I do know a little bit about Eastern Europe. Sorry, just checking my mic level. Because my family's from Poland and also Hungary. And in between, of course, Austria and Czechia. Slovakia is one of them, and then the Czech Republic. I know it's not. I don't know how to spell Czech, but of course it's the Czech Republic. All right, I guess let's just continue with the Baltics. I guess we have to name them one by one. That's the whole point of this quiz. So Greece. I've heard of this island so many times, but I guess I cannot name it at this point. And of course, Botswana is in Africa. Now that we're not doing Africa anymore, I'm thinking about Botswana again. All right, I guess let's just get a little bit of Russia. So there's Estonia, Latvia. There's also Liechtenstein, which might be that country. Which might be that tiny country in the middle. The problem is I don't know how to I don't know how to spell most of these. So I guess spelling is as important to geography as I probably shouldn't have had that low learn go overlay up this whole time. Wow. Okay. I'm sweating a little bit here. I should be able to get it at least like a few of the Baltics, but I guess I can't. Hmm. Yeah, there's no way I haven't looked at a map and been able to name like these huge countries that will actually show up on a map. I definitely am able to like name them for sure. Okay. Too bad the value of time calculator got crashed. Anyways, I think I'm gonna just I have to give up. I haven't guessed anything in a minute. Belarus. Okay, of course, in Lithuania. And I knew Liechtenstein. I knew Monaco. I should have guessed Monaco. I was 2 letters off that one. Malta and Cyprus are the islands I was thinking about. And Serbia, I was definitely thinking about. That was how to spell Czech. I would have never gotten that though. But yeah, Romania and Bulgaria for sure. Okay. So I think we're done with the hard part. I'm gonna like the next one's North America. How hard could this be? Okay. Canada. Hopefully that's this whole top region. Yeah, cool. We're good. USA, of course. Nice. This feels good. Mexico. There are 23 countries? Oh, I have to name every single island in the Caribbean? Wow. Yeah, no, that's a challenge. Okay. Galapagos. Nope. Oh well. Yeah, we're doomed a little bit. Puerto Rico doesn't count. San Jose. Nope. All right, so I'm Dominican Republic. Dominica is a free one. Cool. Thank you. Thanks, guys. San Juan. No, there's San something. There's the Bahamas. There's Bermuda. No, the Bahamas is technically a different country, but Bermuda isn't. Okay. All right. There's Cuba, of course, and Costa Rica. Plenty of overseas destinations, I guess. Aruba, is that on this map? No. All right. I guess we should continue with Central America though. Panama, Guatemala, Nick. Hmm. There's this whole middle section. That's unfair. I'm learning I don't know much about geography. Sorry. I don't even know. Oh, this is just a blown up version of this. Okay. So we're guessing all these little islands in this square. Puerto Rico doesn't count? Does Marshall count? Nope. These are just places I've seen in forms. They shouldn't give you 6 minutes for this quiz. It's like does not warrant that you either know these or you don't. I guess we could sit back and relax a tiny bit. See if anything jumps out to us. Okay, I'm gonna consider it a right answer if anyone in chat tells me any of these quiz questions as well. Because my guess is just like a random American doesn't know much more than this. Maybe I'm just overconfident in myself and underconfident in other people, but people don't know where each other's states are, or like even cities in each other's states. So, I have no idea who would be able to tell like tiny. Oh, Haiti. Yeah, okay, that's one of them. Haiti's been in the news a tiny bit. Okay, another destination. We should have gotten Jamaica much earlier. Like I've studied Central America before and probably know the name of these countries when they come up. But for some reason, like I'm just mind flooded with other names of other regions of the world, like Kosovo and Serbia. Like I want to guess Kosovo and Serbia for everything now. I think it's very fair to say maybe we get like 15 out of 23. That's I'll give myself credit for 15 out of 23 if we instantly know the names once we give up right now. El Salvador and Honduras, of course. El Salvador is let's be honest, I wasn't gonna get most of these, but I could have gotten El Salvador and Honduras and maybe Belize, but maybe not. Grenada maybe as well, but like okay, Saint Kitts and Nevis, Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. I've heard of these maybe like once in my life. Um, and I'm not bragging about being uninformed geographically, but it's just like it would be hard for me to pay attention to something down here when I'm living like in this huge region, like that make up like 90% of the map. All right. Oceania, is this stuff we've already done? It's more islands, so but it's only 14 questions, so maybe it will be a quick one. Because I don't know most of these islands, but I do know Guam. Nope. Hawaii. Nope. All right, Marshall. Yes. Okay. Cool. Virgin. Nope. Okay. So I guess I do know some islands, but this will be a quick quiz though, because I don't know most of these. I know New Zealand and of course and I actually do know East Timor. Or maybe it's just called Timor. Are you kidding me? That's not on this map? Was that on the Asia map and I just didn't put it in for Asia? That's a little unfair because East Timor and Australia are like same context. I wouldn't have considered East Timor Asia. It's not Malaysia, is it? Because this is part of Malaysia. Or Indonesia. Nope. Alright, I mean this is a quick one. I'm giving up instantly. Papua New Guinea's down here. Okay. I had no idea. It sounds like an African nation, doesn't it? Anyway, moving on. That's a little bit embarrassing, but I think we can redeem ourselves. Here we go. Jumping right in, you know? All right. Chile, Argentina. I think we can get 100%. Uruguay. Paraguay. How is Uruguay not a thing? What? But Paraguay is a thing? What? Uruguay? Is there a typo? Okay, let's go back to Brazil, Bolivia. Is that the okay? These are only English names of the Colombia should have worked because I think that's like the Spanish name, unless I'm really wrong. Venice. Aruba. Aruba's not in any of the maps. Okay, I'm a little bit embarrassed for not getting 100%. Oh well. Oh well. All right. No, I'm pretty sure it starts with a U. That's how you pronounce Uruguay? That's how you spell it? With a U? I'm not so sure that's right. Okay, focus up. I think we can get 10. We should know one of these. No. Huh. Alright, just lean back. In a couple minutes, one will come to you. Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, that's sort of cheating, but yes. Thank you, Yurima 7. Alright, at the last minute, we'll put in Ecuador. And I think that's this one. And I think that's just because the equator's like along this line. That's my guess. If this one's Ecuador and if the equator is here, then I'll count Ecuador because I think I could have gotten that. Hello, how are you doing? We've been doing the entire world, and now we're at South America, and I thought it would be my best region, but and it actually is my best region. We've never gotten more than 75% before. But we did Africa, Asia, Europe, and North America, which includes Central America, and which includes like most of North America. The North America quiz were islands that are hard to spell. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for the guess. How are you doing? And yes, Ecuador was. I mean, that was great. Guyana and Suriname. I don't. Okay. I would have, if I had to bet Suriname, it sounds like African, and both of these sound African, but but 83 is good. Yeah. All right. So we're on to the toughest quiz in the world. I'm a little bit scared. I don't know if we could do it. Here goes. Wow. Okay. Okay, that's cool. We got free 100. All right. Moving on, I guess. Actually, you know, that was the last one. That was the last one. Unless we could do the entire world. And I mean, I guess I'll start it. I'll try and see how far we can get, but who knows? This is intense for sure. Like you know, I might need your help on this one a little bit, but let's just start. We don't have much time. No time to waste. I'm just doing whatever comes to mind. And hopefully there will be dead zones. Let's do the two we got wrong before before we forget them. What? Oh, we got that already. Okay. What are we forgetting? Code. I think we got all of South America. All right. Okay, go for the easy ones first. I was gonna try going for the hard ones, but we'll remember them hopefully when the time comes. Is that on this map? No. All right. You're right, Cuba. Thank you. I'll take all the help I can get. And then coast. We got Panama already. Okay, moving on. Way. Nice, cool. We didn't get Czechia last time. Honduras. T. I don't think we'll run out of time, actually. I was rushing for no reason. UK. I think the tough part's just going to be making sure nothing gets lost on the map that we think we guessed, but we didn't. And I have a little bit of an advantage over you because I did all these quizzes for all these regions before and the answers came up. But I mean, I'm sure you know some that I am not thinking of. One of those had to work. Okay, Philippines, we know how to guess it this time. Oh yeah, we cleared out pretty well this bottom right corner of the map. Let's see if we could do the same for the Middle East. Hmm. Nice. We got Djibouti this time. We got Djibouti. We're missing the tiniest sliver. The tiniest question mark in the Middle East. That bothers me a little bit. Okay. Um, let's try and get the northern coast. That's the first thing we got last time. I'll, I think we're good if we can get more than 100. We got Botswana. Mm-hmm. Okay. We're not going to get fooled last time. We know there's 2 republics of the Congo. Nigeria. Ethiopia. At least we're not missing the embarrassing ones from before. Uh, we got Vietnam, we got Laos, Cambodia, of course. Let's get we got Denmark. Just making sure we got all the obvious ones. I don't even think we got Slovenia before. We got Nigeria, of course. Okay. Kenya. I see that question mark in the middle of the Atlantic. You're not gonna evade me. 113. Let's get an even number going. We didn't even get to the Indian region. Come on. Uzbekistan with a Z? Yes, okay. Okay, we know that big country is Kazakhstan. It's just impossible to spell it. Okay, one thing is for sure that we're consistent. Like, we're getting the same ones right as last time and the same ones missing as last time. For the most part. Which is okay. I'm okay with that. 121, that's a cool number. That's 11 11s. Unless something jumps out to me in the next 10 seconds, we got a good countdown going, which is nice. 3, 2, 1. All right. Whoa. I knew it was the Green Coast. I didn't know the language to put that in. Brunei, Myanmar, Bhutan. Okay. I'm a little bit disappointed in just in general this section and this section. But technically they're the two sections that I'm very far away from, so I shouldn't know more about these. I do. I'm just disappointed that I do and I didn't remember. But we got a lot of what we got last time. So, and we got close to the average. Funny how that works. We were far below the average for most of the quizzes, but when it came down to it, we're basically average. And that's average is like way above average for an American. We didn't even put Portugal or Spain or Greece or anything like that. So we could have gotten the average. I'm pretty proud of myself. But man, this was an intense quiz. So that's about it for me streaming today. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna go have a nice actual end to my week, and I hope you do the same. Yeah, peace.